that has taken quite some time in terms of its genesis, because the expectations, I think, from all sides were very high. And we have with us two prominent political personalities who both have invested enormously in terms of really pushing forward what we are celebrating today, i.e. this major hub. So I'm very, very happy first to introduce and call the Commissioner, Commissioner Ylva Johansson, responsible for Home Affairs. Please, Commissioner.
Thank you. Good morning. It's great to see you all, and I'm very happy to be here with you today. Because you help us to make Europe a little safer. Today, as we open a new chapter in our shared work with the launch of the EU Knowledge Hub on prevention of radicalisation, I have to say, as Commissioner for the last 5 years, I greatly admire your work in the Radicalisation Awareness Network. And I admire the contribution each of you personally make to our security. Not making excuses for violent extremism and terrorism, but trying to know what drives people so you can prevent them from taking the violent road or guide them away from this bloody path. It's hard to measure success when you work on prevention. When police crack down on a terrorist group, there are police cars with sirens and flashing lights. There are leading items on the evening news. When you are successful, there are usually no headlines. You plant the seed of de-radicalization, but even you cannot always witness the change of mind, the change of heart. And when you do witness success, that is all the more satisfying. This is the experience of Fabian, who is in the audience here today. Fabian has been one of our excellent RAN working group leaders. Many of you are in the room with us today. I'm grateful for all your contributions over these past years. Thank you all. I also hope you all will continue to remain engaged all through the Knowledge Hub. In Fabian's work, he helps extremists to leave the scene. Picture a man who's been in the movement for 20 years, who reaches out to you from prison because he wants to change, who gets rid of his former life, former friends, his far-right tattoos, who gets a girlfriend, a job, a place to live, who is no longer interested in fascism, but only in fishing. You grow up in the same area, and as you stand next to each other, both of you realize, 20 years ago, this man would have seen you as an enemy. He might have beaten you up, and now he needs you to change his life. And you are changing his life. That's how you both realize change does happen. And how we all know prevention is successful. Success is maybe hard to measure, but easy to understand. Your work means people not radicalized, attacks not made, lives not lost. So I want you to be proud. Your work saves lives. This mandate, we've done a lot to make Europe a safer place. I've put in place new EU laws to improve police cooperation and information exchange, giving Europol a stronger mandate, which will also help in the fight against terrorism. And the terrorist content online regulation is now in place. Member States have so far issued more than 600 removal orders to take down terrorist propaganda within the hour. Like, for example, a video of Daesh terrorist fighting calling on fighters to intensify jihad. The full video of the Christchurch attack, filmed like a video game in the first person. With the terrorists going around killing people, posted in a chat group full of hate. Files related to the 7th of October attacks, pictures, audio, video. It's good that we have this law to take down the terrorist propaganda. And when we have the law, We also see a tremendous increase in the voluntary referrals, more than 25,000 so far. So there is a clear link between the possibility to send in referral orders and the willingness from the companies to do the referrals. Because the internet is doing things worse, algorithms are sending people down internet rabbit holes where they make do-it-yourself ideologies based on hate. Hate is the common thing. Hate of Muslims, hate of gays, hate of women, hate of politicians, hate of whatever, actually. Inspiring people to act as lone wolves. What worries me especially is that young people are being radicalized online. We see that perpetrators of violence are getting younger and younger. A 19-year-old in Slovakia who killed 2 people who visited a gay bar. In Belgium in March this year, 4 teenagers between 15 and 17 years old arrested on suspicion of planning an attack in Brussels. In Germany last April, 4 teenagers of 15 and 16 years old in Düsseldorf and a 15 and 16-year-old in Cologne suspected of planning Islamist attacks. A 16-year-old in Essen planning a neo-Nazi attack on a school, and a 16-year-old in Austria planning an attack on a synagogue. Child soldiers in a children's crusade, recruited by extremists and jihadists. I'm very glad that this issue is on your agenda today. We must do what we can to end this. We must protect our children and our societies. On top of this, threats from the outside are making us less safe on the inside. Russia inspires and fuels far-right extremists here in the European Union, directly undermining our democracies. We've seen a trial start against a far-right coup attempt in Germany, sabotage and destabilization linked to Russia carried out by proxies. Jihadi terrorism is still the biggest threat, with no sign of decreasing. Following the 7th of October attacks and the war in Gaza, we've seen a teacher killed in France, 2 Swedish football fans killed here in Brussels, reports of Hamas plotting attacks in Europe. I'm especially concerned about ISKP, a regional branch of Islamic State, capable of carrying out big attacks abroad. Alert levels are elevated. Member states are beefing up security around the Olympics and European Championships. The threat is real. The last 4 years, we altogether make Europe a little bit safer. But at the same time, the world is becoming a more dangerous place. And that can be frustrating and depressing. But as the danger rises, we need you more than ever. Because danger is rising, we need to take our efforts to counter radicalization to the next level. That's why I'm proud today to launch the EU Knowledge Hub on prevention of radicalization. Radicalization Prevention 2.0, building on the successes of the Radicalization Awareness Network. The hub will help practitioners, policymakers, and researchers to work together and support member states with more targeted and tailored support. A renewed focus on training and research, improving knowledge to build strategies and policies, with new ways for you to work together and share ideas, and new ways for your network. The hub is very much about building relationships, about building bridges between countries and breaking down walls between disciplines. Because we need a whole of society for prevention. Academics and policymakers working closely with prevention practitioners, with victims groups, with local police officers, teachers, social workers, family and community workers. They are the first to see when a child steps onto the slippery slope towards terror. And united in the hub, we will get that child back up on his feet. We counter terrorism with the strong arm of the law and with the open arms of prevention. Your work makes a difference. I know the patient work of prevention pays off. So I call on you, make the most out of the hub. I wish you a lot of success today at the conference and tomorrow in your important mission to prevent radicalization and to save lives. Thank you.
Many thanks, Commissioner, for opening this very important conference and launch event. We have a second patron today, Minister Vindon, Belgian Minister of the Interior, Institutional Reform and Democratic Renewal, who is also and equally representing the Presidency. Minister, please.
Good morning, dear Commissioner Johansson, dear Ylva, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with deep pleasure and with a great sense of responsibility that I stand before you today to inaugurate the EU Knowledge Hub on Prevention and Radicalisation. It is an important development marking the Belgian presidency and reminding us of our collective commitment to safeguarding the security and well-being of our citizens. The establishment of this knowledge hub is a testament to our shared determination to confront and mitigate the threat of radicalization across Europe. The knowledge hub aims to strengthen an integrated, policy-driven approach to the prevention of radicalization at the EU level. By providing robust support to all stakeholders, including policymakers, practitioners and researchers, we seek to develop and implement effective strategies that address the multifaceted nature of radicalization. The primary objective of the EU Knowledge Hub is to foster a comprehensive, whole-of-society approach to preventing radicalization. This entails engaging a wide range of actors, from governmental bodies to non-governmental organizations and civil society, in a concerted effort to tackle the root causes of radicalization. This engagement ensures that every level of society is involved in this crucial endeavor, creating a unified front against the proliferation of extremist ideologies. I'm glad that all these actors will work together in a common structure. And our approach is holistic, focusing not only on the immediate security measures, but also on fostering social inclusion and addressing the underlying socioeconomic and psychological factors that contribute to radicalization. By integrating local, national and international strategies, we aim to create a resilient framework capable of adapting to evolving threats. This resilience is essential in ensuring that our strategies remain effective in the face of changing dynamics and emergent challenges. Our efforts are underpinned by robust EU policy and legal framework. The counter-terrorism agenda for the EU has identified the need for a knowledge hub to support policymakers, practitioners and researchers. Additionally, the Terrorist Content Online Regulation, which mandates the removal of terrorist content within 1 hour of a removal order, is a critical tool in combating online radicalization. These policies provide a strong foundation upon which the Knowledge Hub will build, ensuring our efforts are guided by comprehensive and effective legislation. The EU Internet Forum, a public-private partnership involving the Member States, the Internet industry and other relevant partners, addresses the challenges posed by the misuse of the Internet by terrorists and violent extremists. This collaboration is essential for creating a safer online environment, and by working together we can develop innovative solutions to counter the use of digital platforms for radicalization and recruitment processes, ensuring that the Internet remains a space for positive engagement and communication. Europe faces a complex and evolving threat landscape, including jihadism, violent right-wing extremism, violent left-wing extremism, and new form of violent extremism such as anti-systems and anti-government movements. Lone actors and small cells, often with links to mental health issues, pose significant challenges, as does online radicalization facilitated by new technologies. Geopolitical factors, local dimension challenges, undesirable foreign influences, and the radicalization of teenagers and minors further complicate our efforts. Additionally, radicalization in prisons and post-release, as well as the threat of foreign terrorist fighters, require sustained attention. In this regard, I would like to highlight Belgium's own efforts and experiences in this domain. Belgium has faced significant challenges related to terrorism and radicalization. The threat is increasingly diffuse, with presumed authors, sometimes young, even very young, as the Commissioner said, who radicalize extremely quickly online. The current geopolitical context also creates a ground for polarization that undermines social cohesion and creates divisions amongst our citizens, as we witnessed last year with the terrorist attack against the Swedish football supporters here in Brussels. Our response has been multifaceted, anchored by the so-called strategy TER, which stands for Terrorism, Extremism and Radicalization Process. This strategy reflects our comprehensive, multidisciplinary approach to these interlinked threats. The strategy TER is built upon several key principles. First of all, prevention. By addressing the root causes of radicalization before they manifest into violent extremism or terrorism. This involves initiatives aimed at early detection and intervention, educational programs that promote critical thinking and resilience, and community engagement activities that foster social cohesion and inclusion. Secondly, threat assessment, based on the risk management, which is a cyclical process involving detection, risk assessment, and risk reduction. By analyzing comprehensive information, we can assess the risk profile of an entity, identifying problematic areas and positive progress. Based on this assessment, we determine the appropriate measures to mitigate the risks. And thirdly, prosecution, by ensuring that those who engage in or support terrorism are brought to justice. This requires a robust legal framework, effective law enforcement, and international cooperation to track and apprehend individuals involved in terrorist activities. This strategy integrates efforts across various sectors and all Belgian levels of authorities, with a collaboration between law enforcement, social services, educational institutions, and community organizations. By engaging local actors and civil society, we aim to create a network of vigilance and resilience that spans the entire country. I am convinced of the added value of the Knowledge Hub for Belgium and all the other EU member states, thanks to its capacity to serve as a centralized resource for sharing knowledge, best practices and innovative solutions. The Knowledge Hub will facilitate cross-border collaboration and coordination, ensuring that we leverage the collective expertise and experiences of all member states. It will provide a platform for continuous learning and adaptation, crucial for staying ahead of evolving threats. This is why it's essential to continue to build on the 10 years of experience of the RAN and its network of experts engaged in the fight against terrorism and extremism and in the prevention of the radicalization process. Additionally, the context of trust that has been built up over time among them allows for useful and fruitful exchanges. Moreover, the Knowledge Hub will play a pivotal role in fostering partnerships with international organizations, academia, and the private sector. By doing so, it will help to ensure that our approaches are informed by the latest research and technological advancements, thereby enhancing the effectiveness of our prevention strategies. The collaboration with academia will allow for the integration of cutting-edge research into practical applications, while partnerships with the private sector can lead to the development of innovative tools and technologies to combat radicalization. Furthermore, the Knowledge Hub will serve as a repository of case studies and successful interventions, allowing member states to learn from each other's experiences and avoid duplicating efforts. This will enable us to build on proven strategies and adapt them to the unique context of different regions and communities. The sharing of best practices will foster a culture of continuous improvement and innovation, ensuring that our approaches remain effective and relevant. The Knowledge Hub will also play a crucial role in enhancing the capacity of frontline workers and practitioners. We cannot underestimate the importance of frontline workers and practitioners in preventing radicalization. By providing training and resources, it will empower those on the ground to identify and address signs of radicalizations early on. This proactive approach will help prevent individuals from being drawn into violent extremism, thereby reducing the overall threat. Additionally, the Knowledge Hub will facilitate research into the psychological and social drivers of radicalization, providing valuable insights that can inform policy and practice. Understanding the underlying factors that contribute to radicalization is essential for developing effective prevention strategies. By drawing on the expertise of our practitioners and researchers, the Knowledge Hub will help to create a comprehensive picture of the radicalization process, enabling us to approach it more effectively. In conclusion, the launch of the EU Knowledge Hub on Prevention and Radicalization marks a significant milestone in our collective efforts to enhance security and prevent radicalization across Europe. By fostering collaboration, sharing knowledge, and implementing evidence-based strategies, we can build a more resilient and secure future for all our European citizens. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our partners, stakeholders, and the dedicated professionals who have contributed since the beginning of the RAN in 2011 and will continue to work in this Knowledge Hub. Together, we can make a meaningful difference in the fight against radicalization. I thank you all for your attention and wish all of you the best to the Knowledge Hub. Thank you.
Thank you very much to both of you for not only a very strong political courage and also political backing of this important initiative, but also I think for describing very well the very nature of what this hub is meant to achieve, both on the prevention side and also the response, of course. We will now dig in several